Story time as we read Sad Bad Days. And please share this with your friends so that they can listen too. Sad Bad Days. While Enoch walked with God, most of Adam's children and grandchildren did not. They walked by themselves and forgot all about him. They became selfish and greedy, quarrelsome and cruel. They began to fight among themselves and kill each other, even as Cain had killed Abel. It is hard to understand how such things could have happened such a short time after creation and such a little way from all the peace and harmony of Eden. Yet it is not uncommon, even today, for boys and girls to be cross and unruly right after church. Some can become real little pests just as soon as a nice picnic is over. It doesn't take long for some to forget kindness and love that they should remember forever. So it was back there in the early days of the world. As people drifted farther and farther from God, they drifted farther and farther into sin. Satan, who in the form of a serpent had deceived Adam and Eve in the garden, rejoiced at the turn of events. He had schemed to spoil God's plans for a happy and beautiful world, and now he was succeeding better than he had dared to hope. Having heard God's promise that the seed of the woman should bruise his head, he made up his mind that nothing of the sort should ever happen. The best way to do this, he thought, would be to lead as many as possible of Adam's children to disobey God and do all sorts of things displeasing to him. So he began to tempt them in many ways, and all who were not living close to God fell for his deception. Adam and Eve, having learned the costliness of sin from their own sad experience, tried their best to warn their wayward boys and girls of their danger and persuade them to follow the good way which leadeth unto life. Year after year and century after century, they stood against the rising tide of evil, but it was a losing struggle. The wicked became even bolder in their wickedness. Now Satan had almost ruined everything. How sorry God must have been. The Bible says that God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. In those last few words, we catch a glimpse of the depths of his sorrow. He was thinking of what might have been if only Adam and Eve had not listened to the serpent. If only all their children had loved him and walked with him as Enoch had done. With awful sadness, God said to himself, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. Conditions must have become very terrible indeed for God to say that. How it must have hurt him to think of destroying all his creatures and all the beautiful things he had made such a little time before. Yet even now his heart of infinite love held back from carrying out so dreadful a judgment, necessary though it was. With most of Adam's children following the ways of Satan, who could be trusted with so important a task? Was there anyone left through whom God could speak his last message of mercy to a doomed world? Thank you for watching, Aaron and Elsie, Samora and Ariana, Clifford and Sean. Share this with your friends so that they can listen too. Bye-bye.
The fruit of the spirit's not a coconut.